The elevator opened on the third floor. I hadn't pressed the button. I never pressed 3. Nobody pressed 3. The third floor had been sealed for 11 years. No staff, no patients, no lights, just locked doors and whatever was left behind. The elevator doors slid open anyway, and something was standing in the hallway, in a hospital gown, facing away from me, completely still. I stood frozen inside that elevator, watching it as the doors stayed open. Then it began to walk, slowly, deliberately, down the dark corridor, toward the room at the very end, room 333. I should have let the doors close. I should have gone back to the 6th floor, back to my station, back to the light. Instead, I stepped out of the elevator. My name is Teresa Vang. I was 29 years old, night shift nurse at Mercy General Hospital in Chicago, Illinois, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., 5 nights a week. I had worked there for 3 years, long enough to know every floor, every corridor, every rule, and the most important rule at Mercy General, the rule every nurse, every doctor, every janitor knew, was that you did not go to the 3rd floor. The 3rd floor had been closed in 2008. No official explanation was ever given publicly, but everyone who had worked there long enough knew the story. November 14th, 1987, 17 patients on the 3rd floor died in a single night, not from illness, not from medical error. They simply stopped living, all 17, between the hours of 2 and 3 a.m. No cause of death was ever established for any of them. The hospital sealed the floor 21 years later, citing structural concerns. Nobody believed that. The older nurses talked about it quietly, always in low voices, always when they thought no one else was listening. They said that before the floor was sealed, staff would hear things at night, footsteps on the 3rd floor when no one was there, call buttons lighting up from empty rooms, and sometimes, in the elevator, the button for floor 3 would press itself. It was January 9th, 2019, 2:14 a.m. I was taking the elevator from the 6th floor to the basement to get supplies. I pressed B. The elevator descended and stopped on 3. The doors opened. The hallway beyond was dark. Emergency lighting only. Dim red glow from exit signs, casting everything in the color of old blood. And standing 10 feet away, back to me, a figure in a hospital gown, thin, still, the gown hanging loosely from narrow shoulders, head slightly bowed, like someone standing in prayer or grief. I did not breathe. I did not move. The elevator doors stayed open, as if they too were waiting. Then the figure moved. 1 step, 2 steps, slow, measured, walking down the corridor, away from me, toward room 333. I watched it reach the door. The door opened. From the inside, the figure stepped through. The door closed behind it. I do not know why I stepped out of the elevator. I have asked myself that question 1,000 times since. The only answer I have is that something in that hallway wanted me to. The 3rd floor smelled of antiseptic and something else. Something old. Something closed. Like a room that has not had air move through it in years. The red emergency light made everything look wrong. Doors to patient rooms on both sides, all closed. Nurses' station ahead, abandoned. Charts still on the desk from 11 years ago. I walked slowly toward room Street 333. My footsteps sounded too loud. The only sound in the entire floor, until they weren't. Someone else was walking behind me. I turned around. The corridor was empty, but the footsteps continued, getting closer until they stopped directly beside me. I felt it before I saw it. A drop in temperature so sudden, my breath became visible in the air. And then, to my left, where nothing had been a moment before, a face. Not the figure from before, someone else. An elderly woman, in a hospital gown, standing close enough that I could see every detail of her face. Her eyes were open, filmed with white, seeing nothing. Her mouth was moving. No sound came out, but I could read her lips. She was saying, over and over, "Leave, leave, leave." I ran, back down the corridor, past the nurse's station, past the closed patient room doors, all of which now had light coming from underneath them. Thin lines of pale, cold light from rooms that had no electricity. And from behind each door, as I ran past, I heard it, breathing. From every room, 17 rooms, 17 sets of breathing, all in perfect unison. I reached the elevator, pressed the button. The doors opened immediately, as if they had been waiting for me. I stepped inside, pressed 6. The doors began to close, and in the last inch of space before they shut completely, I saw it. The figure from room 333, standing at the end of the corridor, facing me now. For the first time, facing me. I cannot describe the face. I will not describe the face. I will only say that it was not a face that belonged to the living, and it was smiling. I quit Mercy General the next morning. 11 years of nursing, gone in one night. I filed no report. I told no one officially. Who would believe me? But 6 months later, I received a message from a former colleague. She was still working nights at Mercy General. She said the hospital was finally demolishing the 3rd floor. Renovation, expansion. The sealed floor was being torn apart, and when the construction workers opened room 333, they found something on the walls, written in something dark, covering every surface, floor to ceiling, every wall. The same words, over and over. 17 names. The names of every patient who had died on that floor on November 14th, 1987, written by hands that had not been alive for over 30 years. The construction crew refused to continue work on that room. Every single one of them walked off the job the same day. The hospital quietly sealed room 333 again, permanently this time, built a wall in front of the door, so it cannot be found, so it cannot be opened. But my colleague told me one more thing. Before I stopped reading her messages, she said that since the renovation began, the elevator at Mercy General sometimes stops on the 3rd floor again, even though there is no 3rd floor button anymore. The panel just shows a blank space where 3 used to be, but the elevator stops there anyway, and the doors open, is always dark and always empty, almost always. If you ever work in a hospital and the elevator takes you to a floor that you did not choose, do not step out. Do not look down the corridor, and whatever you do, do not follow anything that walks toward room 333, because the 17 people on that floor have been waiting a very long time, and they are always looking for someone new to join them. Sleep well, and if stories like this keep you up at night, you are not alone. Subscribe for more horror stories. Every week, new story, new nightmare. See you in the dark.